Hi, everybody. Good morning, good noon. If you're on the East Coast, I'm Debra Prinzing of Slow Flower Society. It's so great to see so many beautiful faces and names popping up in our waiting room who are joining us today. Doesn't it feel like a lifetime ago since we met in the middle of July? And here it is, August 14th. This is our August Slow Flowers membership virtual meetup. And I can't believe sadly, it's been almost 5 months since we started doing these meetups at the end of March, which, kind of tells us what time vortex we've all been in, thanks to COVID. But on the other hand, I think there's so much resilience and so much, reimagining. I don't want to use the word pivot, but that's happening too, for all of us, that we've gotten this far, and I feel really encouraged that you're all here spending an hour with us. So we're going to record this, and that way if you have to pop off, you can always jump back and watch the full episode, and we'll also share it on YouTube. But I want to just introduce our team. We've got Nisha Blancas. Nisha is our social media manager for Slow Flowers. You all know her. She was a speaker at the summit last year in the Twin Cities, and is really keeps us going, especially as you need to go in to your persona on the chat box and put your name or your business name on your account. So Nisha can add you to the pool of people eligible for our giveaways and drawings. If it just says Debra's iPhone, she may not know who you are, but she might message you. So that's an option. We're just going to keep all the mics off while we start with our first speaker. We have a second speaker who is going to be joining us in a little bit. And then we'll have time for people to ask questions. And I don't think we're going to do breakout rooms, but we might turn on everybody's mic and let everyone say hello, since we have, it looks like just about a dozen people. Okay, so here we are in August. I'm calling it the summer slump. And I don't know, some people are nodding. I just feel like there's days where they all blend together. And I went to the post office yesterday and I realized I had not even been out of my house for 3 days, or in the car for 3 days. It was like, okay, this has got to stop. I've got to yes, I have my mask on, but I've got to get out and have a change of scenery. So you guys are my change of scenery today. But one of the things that happened not that long ago, and I was really excited about it, is that Gina Thresher, who's a Slow Flowers member from my area, Kent, Washington, she owns From the Ground Up Floral, and she invited me to be part of a project she was involved in called the Fleurvana Virtual Summit. Gina has got an amazing pedigree. She's been inducted into the American Institute of Floral Designers. She's also been inducted into the has a European Master's certification, which is a completely different training program. And she is a really powerful social media consultant to other florists, and she's the Northwest chapter president for AIFD and the national social media committee president for AIFD. So we are lucky to have Gina here. And guess what? She's a Slow Flowers member, because she really believes in using local, seasonal, and sustainable flowers in her designs. So I just thought it'd be fun to have Gina come on and talk about what is the Fleurvana Summit, virtual summit, and why is it happening now? What's the what's the reason something like this can be successful in our current atmosphere of not being able to go to conferences? We had to cancel the Slow Flower Summit this year, not cancel, but reschedule it for 2021. So Gina, first of all, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell everyone where you are.
So I had a delivery this morning and I found a lovely park. So I apologize for any car noise, but this park is beautiful. I'm not really sure, I think I'm in Kenmore area.
It's beautiful.
Do what you gotta do. And yes, I totally understand, in this day and age, it's so refreshing to see people online and talking to each other. I think it's kind of become our normal, along with your summit being canceled, AIFD's summit had to move to next year too. So, we've just been really bummed out about that, but it's, maybe next year it'll be bigger and better. What can
Well,
you say?
it will.
Yeah.
But
It will.
in terms of your business from the ground up floral, what is going on with you, and like how have things changed, and how have you what has it forced you to do in changing in because you're a studio based wedding and event florist primarily, right?
Yeah. So I do weddings and events. It's kind of like it's a shock and it's a blow to your heart because I love doing weddings. Like I didn't realize how much I loved it until I'm like, man, like I'm really bummed out I don't get to do those pieces and those, everything I had quoted for the bride. I don't get to do all of that. But it's been like they've just kind of been shortening like what they need. It's been they'll do an elopement now, and then later next year we're planning their receptions. I've only had one cancellation.
That's
And
great.
yeah,
Wow.
so everybody's moved their dates. And I was of the mindset, like, it's not their fault. They have to move. I did not charge for that service to move their date. I just didn't feel it was right. And that's, like in my business, that's what's right for me. But yeah, it's really kind of changed. And I've had to kind of roll with the punches a little bit. I'm pretty good at that. So, I've kind of found new ways. Like I've been trying to play around with subscription services. The online teaching is kind of becoming a thing, and I'm really excited for that new chapter because I do have a lot of education, and I love people that have that passion for learning. So I feel like this is the next step towards it. The Fleurvana Summit, it's going to be insane. Like we have like 20 speakers, and we actually had to push it. It was just 3 days, but now it's 4 days because we've had so many people that just the collaboration. And I just feel so proud that there's that many florists and creatives. It's not just florists, like there are creatives in there too. Along
Gina,
with you.
I'm gonna interrupt you for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the schedule on the screen in case you want to just kind of start by explaining who who created this and how you got involved.
Yeah, so Sean, Michael Foley, and I came up with the idea. We were kind of thinking about doing some online learning classes together and creating a sort of a platform for that. And then we kind of came up with this. There's a lot of other industries that use online summits for education. And this just kind of shows you we have a business and mindset day, the first day, and then we have design day, and then we have another design day. But it's also a lot of creativity within those design days. And then we're going to have a day for technology. So if there's any skills that you're looking to learn, this is going to cover a multitude of everything. And like I said, like you said, I'd hate to say the word pivot, but like that's what everybody's trying to. It's such a buzzword, but that's what everybody's having to do right now. It's like, what am I going to focus on, and what can I grab onto that really resonates with me?
Well, that's when you asked me if I would present as one of the instructors about, taking the live workshops I've been doing over the last 3 or 4 years about creative writing for florists and flower farmers. At first I kind of panicked, like, okay, that means I have to record something and be on camera and also take what normally happens in a half a day format and put it into 30 minutes. And you were so encouraging. And the takeaway was, why wouldn't I do this? Even if I fall flat on my face and I have bloopers galore, it's a new skill that I'm learning. And I feel like that's why so many people wanted to participate.
Yeah, 100%. It's you're right. Even if you do fall flat on your face, like nobody's gonna, if somebody laughs at you, like they're not, whatever, you don't need to even listen to them.
They're laughing with me.
They're laughing with you. And it's basically like, yeah, if you're not pushing yourself, you're not growing. And this is definitely a time to push yourself forward. This is what we're trying to portray. We're trying to get people to push themselves forward. So just like you, this has been a very, very much a learning experience and a huge growth. I mean, within the last month, I can't believe it's only been a month that we've been working like diligently on this. So
yeah,
it's just been crazy.
Well, okay. So this event takes place over 4 days. It is Sunday, is that right? Sunday, August 23rd through Wednesday, August 26th. And if you sign up for a ticket, which we'll put the link in the chat box, you can watch this for free for basically 4 days of floral instruction and content for free, which is pretty amazing. And all the speakers are donating their presentations. So the only opportunity to get this content else, afterwards, I guess, make it sort of in your library, is to buy it what's it called, an all access pass?
Yeah, so we have the VIP pass available. If there's anything you're gonna miss, you may want to buy the VIP just so you have it. It's going to be some really good information, but if you don't have time to sit for 4 days and watch the whole thing through, you may consider that. I always if I watch a virtual summit, I always buy the VIP pass just so I have that information, because I like to binge watch. I know a lot of people do in this day and age. So if you're keen on binge watching some, floral summit education, that's definitely there for you.
Okay, so I want to say that Sean Michael Foley, the creator with Gina of the Fleurvana Summit, they are giving away one of these VIP passes, which is really it's not that expensive. It's $97, but wouldn't you like to win it? So that's for those who are attending today. All you need to do is go, and I will share the link. Just sign up for the free registration, and anyone who's part of this conference or this call today who signs up by the end of today will be in a bucket, and Sean will draw one name, and that person will get the VIP pass. So that's kind of cool. Gina, exciting. Before I let you go, I want you to talk about your two presentations. This is one of them, the juggling act to be a successful mompreneur, and kids homeschooling weddings podcast. Oh my gosh. You scare me.
Well, it goes to show you, even the first time that I met you, I had a child in tow, right?
Yes, the first time we met you, we have that picture of
Avery was like 6 months old. She was younger than that because she was still in her car seat. We have a picture of her in her car seat with the book. So I've been doing this way for a very long time. I know what it takes to have your children in tow. They've come with me. I always clear it first. I never just show up with my children, but there are times when I bring them to events with me to help, it's very much a family business. And this year I'm planning on homeschooling them because I don't feel we did okay with online learning. It just was a big jumble. So I'm going to walk through creating a routine, not a schedule, because routines help you succeed a little bit more. I feel like when you have a flat out schedule, you get frustrated. So I'm going to go through how to build a routine, how to work on things like that, how to make sure you have time for yourself even. So that's the big key takeaway for this program that I'm teaching. And then
the other one, what day is that other one? Let's see.
The other one is, I know there's so many. I'm just I don't remember. There we go.
Overcoming the fear of creating content. I mean, that applies to everybody.
It does. So if you're ever afraid to get on camera and speak, mostly we're going to be going over creating content buckets. So there's pretty much a formula to creating content, whether you want to educate, teach something, or if you're just trying to relate to your audience. There's several different categories you can put your content into, and we're going to walk through that. And we're also going to talk about the way to reuse your content and format it so that you can get more out of it instead of having to scramble to create something every day. Oh my gosh, I forgot to post to Instagram. You can make it so that you have stuff that pertains to what you're doing all the time.
That's really great. Good. Anything else that you want to mention before we bring on our second guest? We'll have time. I'm excited too.
To hear from Tonneli. This is just going to be so much fun. There's so many different walks of life from this, coming together for this. So I'm really excited. I get to edit a few of these videos that people have sent in, and I'm just kind of excited to get the first sneak peek even. So
yeah, exactly. Well, our next speaker is Tonneli Gruetter, and Tonneli is a Slow Flowers member who co-owns, let me take you off of mute, Tonneli, sorry, who co-owns Salty Acres Farm on Whidbey Island with her family. She's also the marketing director. I don't know how she does all this. She's like Gina. She has 6 jobs. She's also the marketing director for Florist Review. So we've had lots of time to collaborate. Hi, Tonneli.
there, guys. Good morning. Yeah, it was funny as Gina was talking about balancing mom life with work life. I was like, that was resonating 100%. I don't know if there's any hiccups at the beginning, but Debra was literally like, Tonneli, are you joining us? And I'm like, hold on. I have to pour a bowl of leaping lemurs.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a cereal.
Yeah, you got to be specific in the morning. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
so excited to be here for this Fleurvana event. Anybody who knows me knows that I love sharing my knowledge. If anything, I would say that I often have a hard time accepting as a paid job. So it was really important to me when I had this opportunity. And Sean said, it's going to be amazing. Everyone gets it for free. And if they want to keep the magic, then they have to pay a little bit. But really, like, you're here to share it. And I feel like I've heard so many people saying that they're going to be doing an educational series and it's for the people since COVID-19. But this was the first one that really struck me as being authentically for the people when he said that, anyone can attend. And I was thinking of so many friends I have who are aspiring entrepreneurs, aspiring farmers, all kinds of different things. And they want to know about this world that I participate in. But often the educational investment is very high. Which it's worth it. It's 100% worth it. But it's hard to get people to take that initial jump. So this was an opportunity for us to share that with people that I really latched onto.
Yeah, and you are very comfortable on camera, Tonneli. You've done a lot of online kind of just live streaming things for Florist Review, and you manage Florist Review's social media. So, that's part of it isn't different for you, but I think your topic is kind of something that you don't often speak about. So can you talk about that?
If people know me, they know me as somebody who comes to talk about the high-tech stuff in floristry. I'm the one who's going to talk to you about online resources, digital marketing strategies. But when I'm farming with my family at Salty Acres, we're a very low-tech farm. We're very much a lean farm. And it's great to be able to share that part. So what I'm going to be sharing with people is strategies to collaborate with farmers. So let's say you want to do that amazing bridal shoot. You have your photographer lined up, you have a space lined up, you have a ceramic store lined up who's going to be a table space, you have all these partners, but you're like, shoot, how am I going to afford the flowers? Really consider reaching out to a flower farm. We want to collaborate as well. So I'm going to be really diving deep into ways that you can close holes in your supply chain through reaching out with flower farmers, get something different in your supply chain that no one else has, through some secret tricks I have for reaching out to farmers, as well as what I had mentioned before. So,
well, when you say you reaching out to farmers, I mean, you're basically wearing two hats. You're on the receiving end because people reach out to you, and then how you want to be contacted by a florist as well. So when would you be reaching out to other farmers? As just the network? Or
so a great example would be my farm. We specialize in summer blooms. We don't do a lot of early season. This last year, we decided we wanted to do some early season fundraising for our small town to support the businesses being affected by COVID-19, but I didn't have any flowers. So I reached out to some other local Washington flower growers who I knew had anemones and I knew had really fancy narcissus and all the things that I was knowing would sell to help raise money for this great cause, but I didn't have. So in my example, that's a great way of doing it. Just recently, I had a call from somebody looking for US grown tuberoses. And I reached out to Debra and I said, I actually don't know a farmer who does this today, right now in bloom. Debra, can you help me? And, we were able to network with other farmers in that way. And, hopefully that other farm got that business, because at the end of the day, a flower sold is a flower sold. And that's what we all want to see.
I also could see the wheels turning in your brain going, next year, maybe we're going to grow tuberoses, right?
The funny thing is we have some and two of them bloomed like a week later. So we'll see. One day I would like to be joining you as Washington State's premier tuberose grower.
Okay, so your presentation is called The American Flower Farm Boom, Cultivating Relationships with Your Local Growers. So your presentation, I think, is going to be useful because we know there'll be a lot of professional florists who are joining virtually. We found out already from Sean, Tonneli, you weren't on this call with the speakers, but Gina was, and she might have an update, but something like over 450 people have already signed up for a free registration. So you're really going to influence people with just encouraging florists and designers who maybe haven't reached out to develop relationships with their local growers. That will help change their mindset. And I'm going to be pushing the Slow Flowers membership as a resource. So, hopefully we can, play off of each other.
Yeah. I mean, even circling back to Gina's topic of, trying to make more hours and routines in the day. I know so many florists over the years where I talk to them and they say, I have to wake up so early and I drive hours to go to my floral. Sorry, that's my dog. And it's not working for them. They're exhausted, they're tired. And I'm like, well, you already live in a rural area. Why are you not working directly with the farm? And the farm hasn't even occurred to them that they could close that circle. Your floral market is still really, really important. And that's still going to be a piece of your business, but it doesn't have to be 100% perhaps.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good point. Hey, I know we're going to open this up to Q&A, but Tonneli, you're doing something really exciting with a new venture. I think it's called Growing Veterans. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So like so many people, I've had to pivot where my focuses are right now. Something that's been a big part of my life has been veteran outreach. My husband is active duty military. And about 4 years ago, I got involved with an organization named Growing Veterans that deals specifically with teaching veterans to embrace farming. And the great thing about this is that they marry it with mental health care. So anybody who's played out there in the dirt, or even us as we're blowing into our flowers, opening them up, doing all the things that florists do, you just start to feel this calm over you. And we're trying to share that with veterans, people who are struggling with their mental health at risk of suicide and isolation through our farm here in Washington State. So it's something really, really fun. But we're currently trying to build up more resources with flower farms and the floral culture, because we are noticing that there's a big gap that, 1/3 of veterans are white males, but that makes up, I'd say, 90% of our program right now. So we're trying to figure out, how can we get some of the gals in there? How can we get some other people who maybe we're not appealing to them? And I'm the first one to usually say, people want flowers. People want to learn to grow beautiful things.
Wow, that's crazy. Liz Karen just put the Growing Veterans link in the chat feed too, so people can find and follow you, because it's a Washington State-based organization, but your new role is going to allow for some more expansion. What's your new role that you're doing?
Yeah, so I'm their manager of growth and outreach. So my goal is definitely to see it be something where if we have a veteran call us in New Mexico, that we can give them the tools they need to start their own chapter. An incredible resource for people to have. And in a lot of ways, as we're finding with COVID and Fleurvana, it's actually opening doors for us. Before, we did our mental health outreach 100% in person, and now we've pivoted to doing those trainings online. So you can learn how to be a veteran advocate and a better farmer advocate through the internet now. You don't have to be in Bellingham.
Wow. That's exciting. Yeah, you like any capable woman, and I'm not just I should say like any capable creative, you're juggling a lot of projects. And I think that's something I've learned through this enforced COVID period. Like, I have to become my own hairstylist, or like I have to learn how to, do things that I used to pay other people to do. And that's not a bad thing. So I've learned how to use Canva really well, so I don't have to always pay a graphic designer. And certainly some of that is going to stay with me even after we get through the other side. Gina, do you want to add anything else that we didn't touch on?
Yeah. So Tonneli, what a beautiful project. I just have to commend you. Like that, what a beautiful project. Like bringing beauty to people who have a need for it and are struggling. I commend you. That's amazing. I'm excited to see that grow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say we have all sorts of resources here in Washington. So who knows? Maybe I'll find a way to wrangle you in later.
Yeah, I'm always here to help. So
yeah, and let me just interrupt. Somebody's asking in the chat box how they can do veteran outreach in other states. Can I have her reach out to you, Tonneli, and you can connect offline?
Definitely. Yeah. I have some specific resources that they should find helpful, and I can maybe connect them with another veteran farm in their area, because we do have lists of them.
Maybe you can put your email in the chat box. And
yeah.
Okay, great. I'm sorry, I got off topic. I wanted to mention a few other things, but Gina, any final thoughts about this epic 4-day conference? Karen,
so we do. We have over 500 people signed up. Okay. It's gone up to 500. So 500 people have gotten their free ticket. So you'll want to grab those as soon as you can, because I know we're not going to be able to give away like too many free tickets. We're probably going to have to cap it like eventually, like maybe the price will go up a little bit. But, you know, to get in on this when it's free, you can watch it for free live. It's an amazing opportunity. And I'm excited. I cannot believe, like, I recently just closed that circle, Tonneli, with a local farm near me, like maybe 25 minutes away. And she has amazing flowers. I still have some in the cooler at home. They're gorgeous. Like, so
that's great. That's great. And I think that just having a flower farmer on this lineup, but there's also people who are talking about photography, public speaking, video, and marketing. And there's even like an aromatherapy person and an astrology person, which I'm going to check out.
Very cool, huh?
Yeah. So it's broader than a floral conference.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I was interrupting you, Gina. I was just thinking.
No, really fine.
I had this idea and this impression in my mind of something that Karen Thornton, our events manager, warned me about with the Slow Flower Summit. She goes, Debra, you realize you started with a 1-day conference in 2017, and now you're up to a 2.5/3-day conference. And she's like, you can't help it. It keeps creeping larger. But you and Sean went, you thought it was going to be 3 days, and all of a sudden I look and there's 4 days because you had so much participation, which is a positive thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm so proud that there's that many people that are willing to do this and give their knowledge away and basically share. I'm so excited to hear about Tonneli's stuff. Like that's going to be a big, I so appreciate going to a flower farm. I actually went to Jello Mold here locally not too long ago. And that other local farm, like I've just really been trying hard as I can to make sure I go there first,
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I also know you clip from your garden, your neighbor's garden. You do a little foraging.
Yep. With permission, if you're doing it without permission, just make sure you wear your construction vest and get in and out quick. Not
I totally just took smoke bush from a gas station. Don't tell me.
We're all guilty.
Oh my gosh. I want to just mention a couple other points of involvement with the Fleurvana Virtual Summit. I'm going to be teaching a class called Creative Vocabulary to Enhance Your Brand. So it is about creative writing for florists and flower farmers and anybody who's an artist. But Jim Martin of Compost in My Shoe, who's a past guest of the podcast, he's a Slow Flowers member, a farmer designer in Charleston, South Carolina. He's doing a presentation called Taking Your Flowers to the Wall. And I believe, Gina, is he talking about innovative floral wall design mechanics?
I really, really hope so. I got to spend a lot of time with him, and we went to EMC together. So we got to go all the way to Belgium together. And he does some cool stuff, let me tell you. Like, even if you just look at his, he's got a beautiful skill set with growing, and he posts a lot of pictures of the stuff he makes and grows. But like, I am excited to see him get out there and show his creative design, because he's such an artist.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it's wall hangings. I haven't seen it yet, so that's the joy of it. I get to watch all this stuff too. So I'm very excited.
I wish I had invited him on this, but I found out about his involvement. He's one of the late arrivals on that. Yvonne Ashton, who is the marketing director for Mayash, who's a past guest on the Slow Flowers podcast, and Mayash is a sponsor of Slow Flowers. She's got a great presentation on making your website work better for you. I think that's going to be a good one. And then our friends from Grateful Gardeners, Tom and Sarah have come on. They're growers in the DC area, and they've come on as sponsors. I think they're maybe partnering with one of the DC florists who's presenting. So I just wanted to mention there's a lot of, it'll be a great tribe of a great collection of people.
Yeah, so that's Ursula. She does a lot of, oh my God, her Instagram's amazing. Go check Ursula out. She's Fleurs DC. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that she bought her flowers from them. So
yeah, she posts a lot of their stuff.
Good. All right. If anybody has questions, please, I know we had a few, but please put them in the chat. I want to just mention a few other things housekeeping wise, and then it's only 9:30. I think we should just let everyone say hello and tell the group, since we only have about 15 people on the call. I think we can do this if everyone keeps their news short. Karen, can you take everybody off of mute, and I'll just call on you to speak, because I think that might be the best way to go. If everyone's okay with that. I will just say that if you look in the chat box, we did add the link to the replay of the July meeting, which was so special with Joy Proctor, a wedding and event designer from Portland, and Adam and Alicia Rico of Bows and Arrows in Dallas. And they talked about the installations that are happening all across the country called the Say Their Names Memorial. And it was beautiful. And I know that their presentation really inspired others to pick up the idea and consider doing an installation in their market. Karen Thornton, our events manager, is actually going to lead an installation in the Seattle market. We've got support from a city council member and an Episcopal church that's going to host it, and we're going to announce that as soon as we get through Labor Day, because I think everything in the Episcopal church stops in August. Those priests go on vacation, but it was a wonderful presentation, and I want to encourage you all to go back and look at that. Okay, let's saying hello to everybody, and I will start with Yanni, because he's on the top left of this screen. Yanni, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, it's so good to see you. Tell everybody what you're up to down there in Los Angeles right now.
Oh, I've been trying to keep busy. We're opening up a new division of our company. I have a new partner, and we're working on a consumer direct program that's focusing on schools and workshops. And I'm trying to keep up with the times, sending flowers to people that are giving workshops and their students that are no longer brick and mortar, and just sending the flowers. They may have a student in Houston, one in New York. And so, yeah, we did beta testing this week, and we're trying to iron out some of the problems, and then we're going to do a soft launch next week.
Wow. Will you let me know about that, Yanni?
I will do.
Okay, so Flowers Without Borders, based in Los Angeles. Yanni actually was one of our speakers on an earlier meetup. So if you aren't following him, Yanni, can you put your website in the chat box so people can find out what you're doing? Because I think the consumer direct model is really saving a lot of people this year, farmers and florists. So I'm glad you're going to get involved with that.
Thank you. Will do.
Exciting. Yeah, exciting. Okay. Anything else?
No, just trying to wake up early, and when I don't have a lot of work to do, I try and pretend and give myself projects, whether it's just digging up a tree or pruning, or just trying to have a synthetic sense of being super busy all the time, and it's working for me.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. All right. I'm going to go on to Heidi Anderson of Brick Road Lavender. Hi, Heidi.
Hi.
Tell everybody what's going on with you.
Well, I had my wonderful husband build me a farm stand, and I can't keep flowers in it.
Wow. And tell people where you are. I know you're in Central Washington State, right?
I'm in Ellensburg, Washington.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
yeah.
are you there too?
No, Gina's not, but she's thinking about making a drive.
I know where Kenmore is.
That's great.
Yeah.
So Heidi, you're selling, your lavender season's kind of wrapping up, right?
Right now we are in the process of distilling. So it's juggling, cutting flowers, weeding, keeping the still going, and then looking at the first frost dates for us, realizing I have to get started on getting the lavender ready for winter. So
Wow.
kind of a really busy time right now.
What will the first frost date be, in like late September, early October, or a little later?
For us, it said it was going to be the middle of October, and we're supposed to have a lot of snow this year.
Jeez, that's like 2 months away. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for joining us today. Anything else?
No, I'm so excited. I was out of town for the last one, so
Good.
Excited to be here.
Good, great. All right, I'm going to move on. Bobby from Fernbrook Floral Design.
Hi.
Speaking of people who've transitioned their whole business and thanks to COVID, how are you, Bobby?
I'm okay. I don't have a lot of flower work, and then I'm a forensic psychologist, and there's not a lot of that right now. I'm outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and things COVID-wise are bad here.
Yeah, you
So,
got to be careful.
Yeah, there was a dip in June, so I went back into jails where I work in June, and then then I stopped because it just was getting bad again. So I've just been working with flowers, but not, I don't have a lot of paid work. There's a farm just literally like 6 miles from me that I've been working with, and I think all of my Instagram posts lately are all flowers from their farm. One of the women who works there lives in Woodstock where I live, so I can order online, and she literally puts buckets of flowers on my porch. It's amazing. So yeah, I've just been kind of designing for fun and marketing purposes, and doing whatever psych work I can do remotely, and sheltering in place.
Getting your hands on flowers when you can.
Oh yeah, it's great. I can't go more than a week without my hands on flowers.
So clearly you have time to join the Fleurvana Virtual Summit. You've got 4 whole days of open schedule.
Yes.
Good. We hope maybe you'll win the all access pass. That'd be great. Bobby, thanks so much. Anything else?
Thanks.
I'm going to move on.
I love my local flower farmers.
Awesome. We do too. That's awesome. Okay, Miss Rachel Johnson, tell us what's going on with you in the Bay Area.
Hi, Barbara and everyone. Debra and everyone. It's nice to be back. I missed last month. I've been very busy with education. I start teaching again a Ikebana class via Zoom today after this.
Oh, wow.
And it went very well, surprisingly well, because the students and I knew each other very well beforehand. So now I've got more students than those, but we still know each other. And the other thing I'm doing is helping the floristry department at City College of San Francisco to place the Ikebana program on Canvas to go live online on Tuesday, and I'm in a technical computer lockdown until Monday. So I wish I had more resources and more time, but I'm going to do my best, and hopefully that works. And I don't know, we just build the next class for the next week, and so that's the challenge. But I'm really concerned that students feel that this is a place that's going to be open. We may transition to in-person anytime, but I'm planning for, no, we better just keep them engaged with maybe videos and reading and some online, some Zoom.
But you'll be on camera with the students then?
I'm assisting my teacher who's still got the class. She's 18 years old. And, so I'll be behind, nudging.
Were you working with Jenny?
I know Jenny, yes. I'm working with Soho Sakai.
Oh, okay. Tell Jenny I said hi.
I will. Thank you, Gina. I will. Yeah.
That's great. Well, Rachel, you've really stretched yourself with technology over COVID. I know you've confessed that to me, and I think we all have. So good. And you said you already messaged me and said you're going to join the Fleurvana Summit. So we'll see you there. That's awesome.
I need the pass because I know I can just dip in now and again and save it all. So that'll be a wonderful resource. I'm very grateful for that.
Oh, good. Thanks for the update. I'm going to move on. Is that okay?
Thanks.
Great. Sophie Kromka. Am I saying your last name correctly, Sophie? Let me take you off mute. There we go. Backyard Blooms. Hi, Sophie. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It is Kromka. The first name is Janet. I didn't realize that my daughter must have been on here and had logged in under her name.
Hi, Janet. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
That's your alias.
Yes. Yes.
Where are you located?
I'm in Connecticut.
That's right. Oh, right.
I'm in Trumbull.
That's right.
Yeah. It's nice to be here. I am really a first year grower. I played a little bit with growing last year just to see if can I make things grow. So we just have a small plot in my backyard, thus the name of the business is Backyard Blooms. And so I've just been trying to build up a customer base supplying to florists and floral designers.
Wow.
Been loving it. I do some bouquets myself. I don't really advertise that, but if people ask, then I do that. I've been learning, doing a lot of videos on how to put together a good bouquet and really enjoying the process.
So how have you reached out to florists? I'm just curious. Is it kind of just like a cold call or I mean, especially with COVID, you can't always walk into a shop.
Well, there's been two things. One has been some cold calls. Connecticut is actually doing pretty well with COVID right now, so a lot of shops are open, and as long as we're masked, we can go in. But Connecticut is doing something that I think is really interesting, and I don't know if this is common. It's because this is all new to me, but we have a Connecticut Flower Collective.
Yes.
That I just learned about, and it's fabulous. And so, you know, you pay a membership to be part of the collective, and all the local growers are part of it. And then floral designers and florists are aware. So we have a market every Wednesday morning. So I can bring my product there, and I've met a lot of growers there, and it's just been tremendous for networking and learning so much from the other people there. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Kate Brunson of Maple and Mom is the manager of that. So I've heard a lot about what's happening with the Connecticut Floral Collective.
Yes, I just met Kate I think I just joined 2 months ago. So that's when I met Kate, and she does an outstanding job. So yeah.
Such a great resource for local flowers. Janet, I'm so glad to meet you face to face. Everyone, when Janet joined Slow Flowers, I told her a ridiculous story, and that is, I went to kindergarten in Trumbull, Connecticut. My family lived there for like 2.5 years, and it was way back in the way back time machine. But I can picture exactly where you are. I can picture that neighborhood. So
that's so fun. Such a small world. I love that.
I know. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm going to move on. I want to get everybody in. Candace Howard. Hi, Candace. Let me take you off mute. There we go. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I actually have a part-time job. So I have not been able to join in on Fridays, but I hate to admit it, but my boss is away today. So I hopped on. I work at actually a part-time job for a nonprofit. So we've actually been very, very busy raising money.
Oh, I bet.
This is my second growing season, and I have 10 CSA members for my summer CSA, and I have 10 for my fall. That's where I capped it because I'm, I don't have that much volume that I can offer any more than that. But it's been so rewarding. The people who purchase a CSA membership really get it. They're a special kind of person. And I've really enjoyed educating them, and they're just so thrilled. The flowers last for a long time, and they're like, how do your flowers last so long? Well, they're not coming from very, very far away, and you're getting blooms right out of my garden.
I caught them this morning.
Yeah, exactly. So, and Slow Flower Movement has really, I've just really kind of clued into it, and so I've been really enjoying being able to educate people and getting all the information from Slow Flowers. And
Candace, remind us the name of your business and where you're at.
It's Duchess Farms.
Yeah.
And we're in New Jersey.
Okay.
In South Brunswick, New Jersey.
Wow. That's
So-
awesome.
So I had a woman yesterday who came to pick up her flowers. She had knee surgery 5 weeks ago. And she actually drove yesterday to pick up her flowers. And she said, I can't tell you how much your flowers have helped me to heal.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I said, well, flowers are very healing. And she said, no, your flowers are healing.
Ah,
And because she knows me and she knows how much I put into growing the flowers.
that's beautiful.
And then one more quick thing I wanted to say is that our local co-op extension, Rutgers Extension, called me yesterday and asked me if I would be involved in a program for young farmers. And I was just so thrilled because I want to be able to pass this on. I'm not always going to do this, you know, I'm going to get too old or whatever. And so I'm so excited about being able to pass that on and give, before I get tired and, you know, burnt out, pass my enthusiasm on.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. Well, let me know if you need any resources for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Education resources. So
Thank you.
You know you've arrived when the educational institutions and the county extension agents start asking you to participate.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
Are you
awesome.
sure you know who this is?
That's exciting. Oh,
Yeah.
so glad to meet you face to face. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us today.
It's nice to meet you too.
We won't tell your boss. By the time this gets posted to YouTube, you're gonna have cover. You'll be like, I don't remember what day that was.
Yeah, right. I think it was a Saturday.
Okay, I'm going to move on. Thanks so much, Candace. Hi, Carolyn called Folk Art Flowers. We've been chatting in the chat box, so we better get you in on the conversation. I can't believe you could join us and you weren't out in your fields.
I know. You know, the only reason is that my husband needed the car this morning. And I was like, oh, this is actually perfect. I'll just do everything later and, you know, you can have the car. So,
oh, great.
Yeah.
Give everybody an update about where you are and what's going on with you.
Man, everything is going on. I have my dinner plates are starting.
Oh.
And pretty excited about those. So
Yeah.
I have like 200 feet of dinner plate dahlias that are just like starting to pop off. So I'm in Seattle. I farm in Carnation, which is about an hour east of Seattle. And so I'm also a wedding florist. I do all the things. Because I'm a total lunatic. And so I've been, rescheduling weddings, you know, for all of my people who have been affected by COVID and our governor's restrictions. And so I've actually had a few clients who are wanting to do like a little backyard thing this year. And then, you know, next year they'll have the big 1-year anniversary party, which I think is really fun. So I've been kind of redesigning new ceremonies and stuff because we didn't plan on doing 2 things, but now we are. So that's been really fun.
People are nodding. I think this is a common thread.
Yeah. So it's good to like have things to design and think about and brainstorm and not just be like in the dirt all day, every day. But yeah, I've been booking new weddings too, because I think a lot of people are worried about their 2021 dates being taken.
Interesting.
Which I think is a valid fear, right? Like everybody pushing their date and then other people are like, wait a minute, I need to book now. So that's been really cool too. And I've been working, I've been talking with Karen and with Yoni about donating flowers from the farm since orders are so slow right now, you know, because no one has weddings. So I do some wholesale to florists, but we've been talking about stuff I can ship to, you know, do these installations, these memorials for Black folks who have lost their lives to violence. Police violence. And so yeah, like Yoni and I have been emailing about donating some flowers next week, and Karen and I are emailing about donating flowers for her installation in October. So I'm really excited about that. And I have a little CSA, but it's not, I mean, it's like a handful of people. So that's been going, but yeah, the farm is in full bloom and I'm just cutting and making and doing what I can with what I've got.
Well, before I let you go, I have to say, a little bird told me you're going to do a photo shoot with Missy Palikov for our sponsor, Longfield Gardens. And I totally forgot that I arranged for Longfield Gardens to send you a bunch of dahlias to trial.
Yep.
And lo and behold, it's time to cut them and photograph them. So when does that happen? In a couple weeks?
Yeah, a couple weeks from now. Missy will come out to the farm and photograph the little trial row with all of their dahlia varieties, which this beautiful pink dinner plate is one of them. It's called Otto's Thrill. And so, yeah, we'll photo all of them. And then I think the next morning I'll cut as much as I can for Alicia at Flirty Fleurs, who will be doing arrangements and like collections for their gardener offerings. So yeah, it's like a really fun collaboration with people that, you know, we haven't worked together before, but we know each other from Debra and all of the events and stuff. So it's really fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Alicia Schweedy from Flirty Fleurs, also Slow Flowers member, has been designing collections for Longfield Gardens, but often she's growing those varieties in her own garden north of Seattle, and she doesn't have a lot of sun, although she does grow a lot of dahlias. But I think it's great that you could collaborate on that. So I look forward to seeing how those turn out.
Yeah, thanks.
Yay. All right, I'm going to move on. Jennifer Waite, Gardenside. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, great. Gardenside Blooms. I'm sorry that your name cut off on the photo.
Oh, that's fine.
Tell everybody where you're at and what's going on with you.
Okay, so I am up in a suburb north of Salt Lake City in Utah, but right now I'm actually in the state of Washington in Bellingham. We're on a family vacation.
Oh, wow. Are you like in a hallway of a hotel or something?
Yes. Yeah, I am.
Hey, Gina's in a park, you're in a hotel hallway. We'll take it all. Oh, that's exciting. So, so what's it, you're growing in Utah then, right?
Yeah, I have been growing forever, just in my backyard. And we built a new home, and I knew immediately that that's what I wanted to do, a part-time business. I actually teach junior high. I teach science, and so my model, I've only been in business for about a year, but my model is more of the idea of doing weddings and CSA and everything from my garden.
Cool.
And so that's kind of where I'm just getting started. I'm trying to let everyone know about that type of, this movement.
Yeah.
I'm really a strong believer in it, and just trying to get people to buy into it. That's a big thing. People want really cheap flowers and they're just not educated about where those cheap yucky flowers are coming from versus local stuff.
But there seems to be kind of an exciting groundswell of interest for local growers, at least in Utah, in Salt Lake. I know we have a lot of new members, and I got to visit with a lot of people last year when I had a conference in Salt Lake. So maybe maybe you're part of that first wave of trying to change people's perspectives.
Yeah, I am. So that's where I'm at. And I'm looking for some additional areas, people's gardens that they aren't using, and trying to add to it. And right now I have some friends that just moved to Japan, and they're renting out their home, and they have a large area that they're letting me use.
Wow. I love it.
So that's where I'm kind of, and I think just by doing that in just my local community, people
bartering for more farmland. That's brilliant. Well, Jennifer, thanks so much for joining us. Have fun here in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, I love it.
It's going to be 90 on Sunday, but it's not humid, so it's like being in Salt Lake, I'm sure.
Well, it's better than Salt Lake on Sunday. It will be 101.
Got it. Yeah, got it. Okay. Great. I'm going to move on to Stacy Lee, Paonia Designs. Stacy, hi. Oop, I got to take you off mute.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Debra. How are you? Hi, everyone.
You know what, Stacy, I sent you a thank you note for the peonies you sent, and it got returned. So,
oh no.
Yeah, will you message me what address to resend it?
Sure.
Okay.
Weren't they fun?
Yeah. So you're just coming off peony season. Your business is called Paonia Designs. Tell everybody a little bit. I know you've been a guest on the podcast, but tell everybody what's going on now. How have you recovered from Massachusetts peony season?
Oh, it was anarchy. I helped a farmer friend of mine who is, her farm is up here in Bolton, Mass, but she lives in Austin, Texas, got stuck down there for the season. So me and a couple of her volunteers pulled in her 1,700 plant peony harvest. We also set up shipping for the first time this year. We shipped to Debra, we shipped through the peony map, and I think Rooted Farmers. She handled kind of the all that kind of stuff. I just kept
You farmed. Yeah.
I highly recommend hopping on a peony farm for 13 hours a day. I lost 22 pounds in 5 weeks, which was fantastic. Great jump start to bikini season.
So probably because you just didn't have time to eat. You just had to work.
Not at all. You know what? I actually worked on a farm. It was a family farm, and you can gain weight if you go there because it's the constant just food and breakfast, and the bell rings and it's time for coffee. Oh, someone came with bread. Like, let's toast it. You know, it's just constant stuff. But that was wonderful. I learned more about peony farming than you can imagine. It was just, and more about farming in general. It was wonderful. I saw a million hummingbirds and a million natural things that gave me life. So I'm breathing from that. I'm actually a wedding florist, so I have a lot of micro weddings set up for the fall. And like a couple of the other florists said, I have been getting a ton of the last like 2 weeks stuff for the fall and stuff for next year. I think people are really kind of getting a fire under them and excited to do that kind of stuff. So that's been fun, and I'm doing all of that over Zoom, and then I use Curate software to send them all the pretty photos and everything, and that's been going well for me. This is my first year using Curate software, so 10 out of 10 recommend. The one thing someone had mentioned doing donations of their flowers. One thing I did want to mention was I have a outreach arm of my business, and I literally set a tent up out front, and I took all of the extra peonies that I had cut from something that we were going to do at the farm that ended up getting canceled, and I had 300 and something stems of peonies. I just bunched them up, threw them out front, and threw a thing up on my local like town Facebook page, like, hey, make a donation to BLM, make a donation someplace, send me a message, come pick up a bouquet. And we raised, it was like $1,200 for Black Lives Matter Boston. Everybody, and I've done that 2 or 3 times for different things. It works out great. So if you just have a big load coming in, like, don't discount your local people who don't normally buy flowers. A lot of times they'll show up and throw $20 at something to take flowers. And then you feel good, you get the tax write-off, it's all great, you know. Good things happen.
Yeah.
So actually, Debra's nephew, I believe, was one of the people that came out and grabbed some flowers because he's about 40 minutes from me, which I thought was adorable, and he was lovely.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, so that's been good. So other than that, and on the farming side, I've been trying to grow my own stuff. This has been a really tough season. The bugs, the heat, no rain, no nothing. And I put in this beautiful pollinator garden, and I have this beautiful amaranth that I've been fertilizing and trellising and doing all this stuff. And it's like this big and disgusting. And yesterday I found and I'll put a photo up. I found a 4-foot tall, not nary a bite taken out of it, piece of amaranth that grew in the crack of my garage behind a table someplace. And I'm like, I have been babying these like 10 plants, and this thing just grew over here, and I didn't even notice until it popped up over the table, and it's like 4.5 feet tall. So I've kind of washed my hands of farming besides my hot peppers and my tomatoes.
Yeah, if you ignore them, they do better than if you baby them.
Oh God, I was like, why am I bothering? Why do I water you people? You know, so it's, yeah. So I've given up on the farming, but I have like my little weekly stuff. I've been going to, I work with Field Edge Flowers in Concord. I went down to the Floral Reserve yesterday and picked up a big box for my weekly stuff. These came from Little State Flower Company down in Rhode Island. And Samia does a great job. I literally send her pallets and what I'm looking for, and she knows I only buy local. So I picked up a monster load of flowers it was like Little State, Edie Farm in Connecticut, Weatherlow Farms in Massachusetts. So it's 100% local all week. And
yeah, it's almost like me saying, why bother growing tomatoes when I can get local tomatoes from the farmer that they know how to grow, and I don't have to have all these inputs. So,
oh my gosh, my zinnias are like this big, and like everything is just sad. And my kid wants to play water balloons while I'm trying to water everything. So I'm just, yeah, I've washed my hands of the farming after my month on the peony farm.
Yeah,
Gave me everything I needed for the year.
I think you're in the plus column for farming this year.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Stacy. It's great to have you on the call. I want to get a couple more people in before we're right at 10 o'clock, but I don't want to miss out. I want to talk with Laura Tibbetts and Debbie Middleman. So Laura, jump on and tell us what's going on up in Maine. It's so good to see you.
Greetings from the far north and east. What's going on? I apologize for hopping on and off like 8 times, but I'm actually here at my shop. I'm actually working today. I have a small wedding this afternoon, and I have retail customers all coming in at the same time.
That's awesome.
So it's a little crazy, but it's kind of awesome at the same time. Obviously, big weddings got moved, but all sorts of amazing little things have popped up. I've got a wonderful relationship built with a local large venue that keeps feeding me all of their elopement work, which I'm grateful for.
That's awesome.
Slow and steady wins the race. And yet I've got, folks that had large weddings planned that got pushed their big weddings off to next year that have decided to do extremely unique things. And they're still planning on getting married this year. So the 19th of September, Lord willing, and the weather cooperates, I get to decorate the bow of $1 million sailboat.
Wow. I want to watch your Instagram feed and see that. Or would be allowed to photograph it?
Oh yeah. It's not a problem. I'm so beyond excited, but I'm also positively terrified at the same time. I got a chance to actually go and visit the boat last weekend. And I'm hoping that their smaller boats, they're kind of like water taxi boat that this family owns, that I actually will be able to fit all of the materials on the boat in one trip, so we don't have to make 2, because the boat is actually moored out in front of the island where her family has their home.
Oh my goodness.
So this is like a really, really big epic deal. There's only 12 people that are involved in the wedding, but it's a lot of flowers. And of course I have their big wedding for next year too.
Wow.
So it's pretty darn exciting, honestly.
Hey, Laura.
Yeah.
It's Karen. I'm popping on video just to say, so I'm a Midwesterner who moved to the Northwest. And, boats in the Midwest are different.
Yeah.
And so I went to a friend's, uncle's marina to see his boat. And I was quickly reminded that these aren't boats.
They're yachts.
So just watch how you use the word in front of the owners, because
no, they call it the new boat. Okay, so let me rephrase this. So they have their boats because they have their motorboats, but then they have the new sailboat. Well, the sailboat is not your usual new sailboat. This is a vintage 1926 wooden racing sailboat.
Wow.
I'm dying.
Wow. So I'm not even going to tell you, because there's actually, the sailboat has a website. It has her dad is actually a nationally known sailboat racer, and it is epic.
But that's so meaningful for the family to have the wedding on that, and the fact that they're investing in flowers. Good luck. We'll be rooting you on from afar.
And the funny thing is, I had been over in Camden about this time last year to their big regatta, and I had made a mention that, as I was coming back in for being out, I said on Instagram, the only thing these boats need are flowers. Well, didn't know that the bride-to-be actually had been following me and saw that. And when her father bought this new to them sailboat, about 6 weeks ago, she said, "I'm going to make your dream come true." I was like, I wanted to cry. I seriously wanted to cry.
Yeah, I want photos. We're gonna do a story. That sounds awesome. Keep me posted. Thanks.
Super exciting.
All right.
Lots of crazy things. Dahlias are doing great. Weather's way too hot, but moving on.
Well, thank you so much, Laura. I want to get your friend and mine, Debbie Middleman. We all met together at the Whitby Flower Workshop back in the day. Hi, Debbie. What's going on with you down in Arizona?
It is bloody hot down here, and I am in the same position as Candace, I think. I normally have a meeting on Fridays at 9 o'clock, and it got canceled for today. So I'm so happy to be here because it just is, I'm like working off about 4 screens right now between 2 phones and my work laptop and my personal laptop. which is why I was off screen before. But you know, it's just so good to draw sustenance from being part of this group and hearing what everybody's doing in these really crappy times. You know, I just feel so elevated by listening to people who are, you know, coping and doing and making inroads and having an impact and leaving legacies. It's amazing. And so, you know, in terms of my floral business, I'm not doing much. I've always been a micro business, and this was a year that I was actually hoping to grow, which is not happening. So I'm, you know, getting flowers when I can. I'm working on some art projects for myself. I'm doing a contest with Mayesh based on some dried flowers. That's fun. Instagram in a couple of weeks. You know, just trying to stretch myself in new directions too, like everybody else is doing. But I just want to say, you know, congratulations to everybody for keeping it going. You know, just put one foot in front of another and you know, try to put better things out into the world. And Laura, congratulations on making your dream come true. I was thinking, you know, George Clooney and Amal Clooney when I'm hearing about water taxis and yachts. It sounds like fun. So
we'll all live vicariously through that. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
But Debbie, so you're going to join the Fleurvana conference too?
I am. Yes,
oh,
yes.
I'm that's really awesome.
About it.
Well, good. How are you going to do that with your schedule though?
I probably get the VIP pass. I haven't got it yet, but
I see.
I probably will, and just jump in and on when I can. You know, it's flexible working from home to some extent, but I do have some conflicts. And yeah, I'm trying to do litigation from home, and we're set up to do that now, but it's stressful. You know, it's just so good to have another side of the world to see. So love to you all.
Thank you so much for joining us. All right, I think we got through everybody, and there's a few comments. Yanni sent me a note. I think he might have sent it to everybody, but he's been asking farmers for donations to help the Slow Flowers members in Milwaukee with a Black Lives Matter project, and he put the GoFundMe link in. It's a really wonderful team that has done floral-based art installations to really support the Black community in Milwaukee, and several of them are Slow Flowers members. I have written a blog post about it, and I think some of those photos of their last installation are on that GoFundMe link. And Slow Flowers did make a donation on behalf of all of our members to support that. So thanks, Yanni. I know you've been super generous.
Yeah, Yanni or Deborah, can you put that GoFundMe in the chat to everybody? It looks like that might have gone just to you, Deborah, privately.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll add it for everybody. Okay, so I want to thank our wonderful guests, Gina Thresher from the Ground Up Floral and all of her other projects. And I want to thank Tonneli Gruetter from Salty Acres Farms and all of her projects. You guys have been awesome.
Thanks for having us. We're so excited. It's so fun to meet other people too. Like, I live for this kind of stuff. So it's so good to see what everybody else is up to. I love it.
Great.
And Gina, I miss people. This has been lovely.
I know, right? I'm just like, what are they doing? What's happening?
Yeah, exactly. Well, nobody's kids have walked in the room and wanted to see what you're doing, so that's good. Just quickly before we go, our next meeting is going to be on September 11th, and we will have some other great speakers, and I'll send that information out soon. Last month's giveaways, we gave away a copy of the Slow Flowers Journal book, and that went to Sarah Eversole from Everbloom Fields. And we gave us Johnny's Seeds packet of swag, an embroidered logo hat, and a seating tool. That went to Whitney Muncie of Emerald Design. She's in Indiana. And then we had a raw materials design utility apron that went to Mariah Towner and she has Black Farmer Stories. And so those were great swag gifts. And in our thanks for you all attending today, your names will be put into a drawing for another copy of the Slow Flowers Journal book, another Johnny Seeds gift packet, and an all-access pass to the Fleurvana Virtual Summit, compliments of Sean Michael Foley. So to enter, you must sign up for a free pass today. I believe the link is in the announcement that went out. I'm going to put it in this one more time. And at the end of the day today, Sean will do a random drawing of everyone who signs up and select one person to receive the all access pass, which just gets you a little bit more flexibility in watching the course. It's not, you know, you aren't going to, you know, miss out if you want to watch it live. I'm going to put the link in there in the chat box one more time. Do I need to add anything else about that, Gina?
I think we've covered it all. Yeah.
Okay, great. So don't miss out on that. It's free. It's free to participate. And my best to all of you. This has been a really uplifting morning, and I'm just so happy to see old friends and new, and put some faces to names. And I wish you all a wonderful month before I see you all again. And maybe I'll see you on Instagram or Facebook or some other virtual place between now and then. Thanks all so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jen.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.